Hey, Tej here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for crude oil, or the US oil ticker. I'll cover wave analysis with the Elliott Wave theory and provide multiple scenarios the price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Here, starting on a daily time frame, let's take a look at this structure here. Again, oil futures or oil CFD here on this chart went down to basically zero on the 2020 crash. And since then we've had this massive move upwards. Now the bullish scenario is this one where we have 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 into third, fourth, and so on. We'll look into this structure here in just a moment. The bearish scenario is that we have 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 into third of intermediate, fourth, and completing the third of primary here, then fourth, and then looking still for the last structure here for the fifth of primary as a 1 2 3 4 and 5. Invalidation point would be here around $85.4, at which wave 4 would get into the wave 1 area. At that point we would have to modify this count to be a bit more bullish, I guess, or bearish, I guess, depending on how the structure goes. Now let's zoom into this area here. So on both counts we had some kind of 3 here, some kind of correction here, and now either being part of it or being done here at wave 4. Okay, so that kept in mind, we have this possibility of having another 1 2 set up here. Again, don't mind the degrees here, as I'm using the same counts for different counts here on bearish and bullish on higher time frames, so these degrees on these local time frames are not correct. But just to mention, on this one we have a 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 into another 1, so 1 2 1 2. Currently looking for wave 2 to come down and then to go high again. Why I don't like this is just because the structure is really extended here. It basically gets to the 1.618 here, which is usually the target for wave 3 of this same degree of this minute count. Now this current structure here is again minuet, which is one smaller degree than this one, which usually means that it should be smaller. So that's why I'm not really preferring this count. However, it is playing out still. And of course, it is still possible. Invalidation point is all the way down here at around $95.25 when it gets beyond the start of its structure. Let me label it here. The other option is more bullish, saying that we have a possible 1 2, again running flat here on ABC in the wave 2. Again, not that likely, but still possible. Other scenario would be that we got to be labeling this as a 1 and a 2. So again, 1 2 1 2. More nested patterns means even more bullish count already than it is. After this wave 2 of minute, we have 1 2 1, and currently possibly making a wave 2. Now we can't have the wave 2 here just because we are already going beyond that. So currently we would be expecting this to be A, B, and C. However, currently it looks more like that it is going to be some kind of 3-wave move here, unless it turns out to extend even more downwards, in which case this would get invalidated and we would be looking at some other idea. If indeed this is a 3-wave move, we're not going to be having this as a ABC, but instead we're just going to be having that as an W, X, and Y of micro. Whenever we are getting this second structure here, or the second wave that we are assuming to be corrective above the start of the wave A, or the start of the whole corrective wave structure, we are assuming is going to be a B wave. It doesn't have to be a B wave, it can be an X wave, but it is more common to have it as B wave. That is why we have that expectation. Also, if we have this structure here as a possible 5-way setup, it even more gets the idea of this being an ABC rather than anything else. But again, it is possible that this whole structure is here done now as an ABC structure. So let's get a look into that. So maybe 15 minutes. So here it is again, the top again from the previous bull counts here. This was the X wave, and now we were looking for the wave Y. Let's close that as it has wrong degrees again. But here we could be labeling this as a 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. We can see that we have this as a possible zigzag from here. So this would be the A wave here, B wave and C wave. A, B and C, then A, B and C. Sure, this last leg is extended, but that's how it is sometimes. On the wave 2, we have some kind of extended, really extended ABC, unless we have this last leg here as some kind of combination for the wave 5. For this one, however, we could be labeling this as an ABC, some kind of ABC here, and then some other structure up here. Okay, so this would be a 3-way move into wave 2. So that makes sense. It is also a possibility that this is an ABC instead of this 1, 2, 3 that I've labeled here as well. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or the impulse count gets more probable if this last leg here that starts from here is getting beyond the 1.618 extension of this first leg. So at that point only we would be looking into this as more probable to be a impulse wave count downwards. But for now it is definitely looking more like it is starting to get finished here. We do have that same idea here on RSI, saying that we have a divergence here between these lows and these lows here on RSI, giving us a bullish divergence in order to complete this possible 5-way move here. At that point again, we would be looking for higher prices depending on our higher time frame outlook. But again, here we would be looking for higher prices as the overall bullish idea is still intact. Now, we've had this daily time frame support and resistance area where we've had multiple touches on. We've had here, 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 here before going through it and going back. Again, back test here, just wicks below, and same here that we're where we are at right now. So this area of around $108.95 ish is very strong support and resistance level. We can see that we wicked through it. We did wick through it and play with it as well here before. But again, it is offering as a zone of some kind of support. And that is indeed where we are currently at. Of course, if we are not thinking this as a possible end, we could be looking this as a third wave of this wave structure of minuet. At this point, I don't think this is a possibility to label this as a third wave if this indeed is a 5-way that ended, but instead we would have to call this as a sub-minuet 1, 2. At that point, as we have this fair value gap here, or insufficiency, or whatever you want to call this, void, where we don't have really too much pullbacks, we have just a drop down in price with no significant areas to be tested too much. We would most likely see a price getting through this area to test these higher areas here again. Of course, we did have some kind of resistance here, which is currently right here where we have the golden pocket. Again, that would be a possibility for another short position. But yeah, it is depending, of course, on your outlook on your higher time frame, whether you want to be taking these kind of setups. This idea of being a 1-2, 1-2 gets invalidated right here on these tops, as wave 2 here cannot go past that. But just thoughts, of course, if I'm going to be seeing 5-way structure forming here, in very small time frame, I could be jumping in. Currently it is really messy. We do have the lowest low here, so I'm not sure if this is a 1-2, 1-2 or something else. But again, I don't think this is another 1-2 or 1. Oh sorry, not a 3. Instead it might be a 1. So we would have 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. But again, those nested patterns showing up like this is most likely something else. But again, could be a really bullish sign. But that is pretty much everything I wanted to share on USOIL at this point. If you have other accounts you would like to share, there's a link to my Discord server in the description below. Also, if you would like me to update a certain other asset, let me know in the comments below. And for now, I thank you for watching and hopefully see you on the next video as well. Bye bye.